Hi everyone, it's Carol. Are you ready to start our Sweet as a Peach class? This is project number 1 in the Sweet as a Peach class. You can always check out my website, www.carolbcrafts.com, to see what current class kit I'm offering as a customer reward with a qualifying purchase using my current host code. Now this is a relatively simple card, so it should be good for new beginners as well as those who are experienced. So let's grab our kit, and I suggest that you take out everything in the kit at once, because if you try to take out just the first one, it's going to things are going to get confused. Even getting it out might be a little confusing. Okay, so there we go. We will need our sponge dauber in this class, and each kit has 4 envelopes, and each envelope has everything you need for one project. So that's our first project. This would be our second, this would be our third, this will be our 4th project. Be sure to keep those in order and together. So I'll set these aside, and then these are going to be for our bonus projects that we're going to do on Facebook Lives with our leftovers. So let's see what we have in our first project kit. We have a couple of beautiful labels, and these are from the Scalloped Contour dies, and it's the 3rd largest rectangle from those dies. We have a couple of quarter sheets of basic weight. Then we have some ribbon. Let's see, this is 8 inches and 6 inches of the Pale Papaya open weave ribbon. So we've got some DSP striped from the Pretty as a Peach DSP. We have our card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, and then we have half a sheet of Calypso Coral that we'll be cutting here in a moment. And then we have an envelope, which we can put aside as well. Let's get our trimmer out. You'll have a PDF that you can follow along with me, emailed to you when I ship you out the class. Let's see. So basic white, we need 2 that are 3 3/4 by 5. So we have our 3 3/4 this way, and we have our 5 this way, and we need 2 of these. So another one that is going to be 3 3/4 by 5, and this one's going to go on the inside. One is for the front, one is for the inside. So there's our 2 basic whites. For our Calypso Coral, we need one that is 4 1/8. So there's my 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. That's for the front. 5 3/8. And then the inside, we need one that is 4 here by 5 1/4. Okay, so that's our inside. We've got those done. Now included in the kit is your thick basic white, 8.5 by 5.5. We just need to score that at 4 1/4. And remember, your score blade is the lighter one. You don't want to use your darker one on this. And so we'll go ahead and get our bone folder out and do that. That card base is ready now to decorate. Now with our DSP, it is the stripes are going to be going vertical, so we want our 3 1/2 this way. So stripes going this way, 3 1/2 with our cutting blade. And then we're going to turn it and cut it at 4 3/4. 4 3/4. Okay, and then these we'll put in our leftover pile to use possibly in our leftover projects. And that's all the cutting that we have to do. Not bad, huh? So now we're going to do some stamping, and we will be stamping on, let's see, we're going to be stamping on the inside. We're going to be doing our happy birthday and our peach, and then we'll be stamping on our label. And you only need the one label, but I give you 2. We'll be using our Sweet as a Peach stamps and our peach dies. This is a bundle, and if you buy them both together, you save 10%. I'll put the number on the screen and also a link in the description below if you'd like to purchase this. Be sure to use my host code. With your qualifying order, you can get a free class kit from me. So we'll be stamping also on one of our pieces of 3 3/4 by 5 pieces of basic whites. These are what we'll be stamping on. So everything else is going to be put away so it doesn't get ink on it. I bring in my Stamparatus. So we'll need a Stamparatus. The inks we're going to use will be Calypso Coral, Pear Pizzazz, and Pale Papaya. Beautiful colors together. And we will need our piece of 4 by 6 window sheet, as we normally do. So we'll do Pale Papaya, and we'll be stamping. Actually, let's do our Pear Pizzazz first. And these are photopolymer stamps. So I have my deluxe foam mat in place, and I put a little bit of sticky there to keep this from sliding around too, a little bit of snail adhesive. Okay, so let's get our 4 by 6 window sheet in place in the corner, and let's get our leaf stamp. I'm going to stamp some leaves. That's going to be the first thing we're going to stamp. And we want to be able to put this up underneath, so we don't want to, I wonder, maybe we should turn it this way. Normally we don't use it that 4 by 6. That way we can have plenty of room to slide our, so we're going to pick that up, and of course that photopolymer always sticks to the plastic. Get our Pear Pizzazz, beautiful green that we have, a nice springy looking green. Stamp our image on our plastic, so that will tell us where it's going to stamp. We'll get, I have a piece of scratch paper here that I'm going to attach this to. I put a little bit of adhesive there. just a little dab. I went like that, and I'm going to stick that down. Now it's going to allow me to slide this underneath. Be sure your plastic stays in place. And we're looking to leave room for Have a Peachy Day up here at the top. So we want to have it kind of going in an angle. And I'm going to get my Have a Peachy Day stamp out just to make sure that I have plenty of room for my Have a Peachy Day. And I don't want my image to go over the stitching because that just won't look right. Okay, I think that's going to leave me plenty of room for my Have a Peachy. So I'll put my magnets in place to hold this in place while I stamp it. So ink it up again. This time we'll stamp on the actual cardstock. Stamp our beautiful green leaves. There we go. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Now you'll see some like little lines in there. That's actually supposed to be in there. That's how it's supposed to look. So we'll clean that off. And we'll also clean off our plastic, our window sheets. So now we're going to grab these 3 little peaches here, and they're all one stamp, and they fit inside this. So I'm going to try to figure out, it looks like the one that has more of a pointy bottom to it goes right here. So I'm going to take this again, put this in the corner, put my peachy stamps with the one with the pointy end here. Remove this stamp because we don't need it anymore. Make sure that's dry. And of course that picks it up. Put it back in the corner. This one we're going to do with Pale Papaya. That's going to be our first stamp. Pale Papaya. Stamp that here. That'll show us where it's going to stamp. Now you could use a block to do this if you'd rather, if you think it's easier to use a block. But I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I just like things to be like perfect. So I am trying to figure out how to do this. I have to turn this many ways. Okay, so I have a stem going into that peach, a stem going into that peach, and a stem going into this peach. And that looks good. So I'm going to put my magnets in place to hold that down. And I'm going to ink up my stamp with Pale Papaya again and stamp it down. And I think I might just do that lightly one more time so I get a nice peachy look. There we go. So now we're going to use our Calypso Coral and our sponge dauber, and we're going to add just a little bit of Calypso Coral to the edges of our peaches to make it stand out. We're going to leave this in place, leave everything in place, and get some Calypso Coral here, not a lot. So here's your peaches. So you're going to kind of go on the edge of that one just lightly. You don't have to go too whole hog. On this one, the opposite side, and on this one it's going to go kind of here. Okay, and that's just a little bit of a blush, and we're going to leave everything in place and just put that down. And look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It makes them look like real peaches. So we'll go ahead and close this up and clean this off. Now we're ready to stamp our Have a Peachy Day. So let's get our plastic. We'll have to clean it off again, wipe it off. This time we can probably put it in the regular way, which is the long way, this way. And put our Have a Peachy Day right here. Put it in the corner, and we'll be inking that up with Calypso Coral. And we'll slide this in underneath again, making sure that stays in the corner. And it's just going to go right up here in this top left corner. Have a Peachy Day. And then I'll put this here, hold that in place, ink up my stamp again. And I may want to do that a couple times because I want it to be a nice rich ink. Okay, that's perfect. So we're done with this label. Let's clean up our stamp. And we'll clean up our plastic. So our label is done. Be sure you don't have any ink on your fingers. You don't want to touch it with inky fingers. Alright, I'll set that aside. Now we're going to take our 3 3/4 by 5 and we're going to do the inside. So we need Happy Birthday at the top. So I'm going to grab my Happy Birthday, and we also need our peach, the big peach, and we need the leaves that go with the peach, the big peach. There's a couple of leaves, and then the big peach that go with it. So we'll start by doing our peach here at the bottom. I don't think that we need, I'll put this in the corner. For the peach, I think we can just basically put it in the corner here. Not ready for our Happy Birthday yet. Pick that up, make sure your paper's back in there where it was supposed to be. Whoops, there goes my... These are going to be fun to take apart. I'm going to take them and twist them. That's the best way to do it, is to twist. Maybe. Okay, where's my tool? They're just being ornery today. So I'm going to separate them. And then I'm going to twist it. Not fun when they stick together like that, is it? Okay. So my peach is ready, and it's going to be Pale Papaya again. I'm probably going to want to do that again. Okay, and I'm going to leave that in place, and I'm going to get my Calypso Coral, and I'm going to do the edge, and it's going to be the far edge here. And let's see how that looks. Gorgeous. So so we can clean that off. Now I'm going to bring in my plastic again, put it in the corner, long ways this way, and I'm going to stamp my leaves with the leaves to the right. I'm going to use my Pear Pizzazz. Now again, if you're not real picky, you could just use your block, but the thing I like about this is, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this work, just barely. The thing about the block is you only get to stamp once. If you want to stamp twice, like with the Stamparatus, you can stamp as many times as you want if the image isn't perfect. But okay, there we go. There's our beautiful peach. So we'll clean this stamp off. I think the last thing we have to do is the happy birthday. Clean off our plastic. Make sure your fingers are clean. And there we go. Plastic in place, and now it's going to be happy birthday. I'll put it down here near the bottom. And this is going to be in Calypso Coral. Oops, let me pick it up first. Make sure that's in place. Happy birthday. And I have my little piece here. Well, actually I don't need that. I'm just going to slide this underneath like that and line that up in the top left corner. Okay, put these down here to hold that in place. Ink up my stamp. And there's my happy birthday, and I know I'm going to want to do it again. Awesome, awesome, gorgeous. Now we can put our card together. So let's finish cleaning up our ink off of here. And we'll clean it up off of our plastic. Put that away for later. Okay, let's put our Stamparatus away, and we can start building our card. Okay, so we have everything to build our card. There's our card base. Now we do have ribbons, so we don't want to jump the gun and put everything in place before we get our ribbon ready. Now the larger of the two pieces of Calypso Coral goes on the front. So let's go ahead and do the inside. Get my Stampin' seal and put this on here. And put that on the inside. Okay, and then on the front we can go ahead and put our Calypso Coral on the front. Just be sure we get it on there correctly. There's just a 1/16 of an inch all around. And then we can put this on our white, our other piece of basic white. And this has 1/8 of an inch all around. That's going to go here, but before we put that on, we want to put our ribbon on there. So looks like, where's our other piece of ribbon go? Here it is. It was on my lap. So our smaller piece of ribbon is going to go around here, and it looks like it is it's about 3/8 of an inch from the top. So you can measure it if you want. I'll get my pencil somewhere. Here it is. So 3/8 here, 3/8 here. That'll let me know where to put my adhesive on the back, and also it'll help me know where to place my ribbon. So the top of my ribbon is going to meet these marks. So even on each edge, bring it around and push it into that adhesive to hold it in place. Bring this one around and match up the mark and push it around. Okay. Now this is ready to go on the front of our card. Now I'll tell you that these stripes, they can fool you when you're placing your card stock on there. Because there's white on the edges, it can kind of form an optical illusion where you're not thinking you have it straight, but you do have it straight, or vice versa. You think you have it straight and you don't. Okay, there we go. Next we're going to put our Have a Peachy Day on, and that's going to go on with regular size dimensionals. So we'll grab some regular dimensionals here somewhere. We'll put that on the front. Put one in each corner to start out with. And then we'll probably put some on the middle. I might go a little overboard with these, but you can see how I've got them. I'm going to take this and remove the backing because it's easier for me to do it this way. Okay, this is going to go underneath here, and wherever you think it looks good, you do want to make sure that it's level with the bottom of your card and with your ribbon. Okay. And next is going to be our bow, and I'm just going to take the ribbon and make 2 loops like this. I'm going to cross this loop over that one, make like an X, and then I'm going to push this through here from behind. It's just going to go right in through there. And then I'm going to pull on my ends here on the bow parts. Straighten it out. It's a small bow, so we don't want it to be too big. Puff it up a little bit. Okay, I think I like that. Do I like that better, or do I like this better? It lays flat better this way. So let me go ahead and trim this. I'm going to take my scissors and and these are not I need some new scissors here. Okay, that's good. And now I'm going to get some of the mini glue dots, and I'm going to put a couple on here behind the knot. Just kind of pinch it and pick it up, and it's going to go right here kind of in the corner. So it looks like you tied it, but you didn't really. And then lastly, we have some little pearls that you'll find those in your envelope. So inside your envelope you should have 3 little pearls. They might be hard to find. They might want to stick inside. Yep, they're sticking to the side of the envelope. I almost didn't see them. So I'll take your pick tool out again. So we're going to put one here, and one here. Just kind of vary it a little bit. Beautiful little pearls. Just make it pop. And one kind of here, and one over here. And we are finished with our card. I hope you enjoyed making this card with me. It's a beautiful little card. You'll feel proud to send anyone for their birthday, but you know, you can make this any kind of birthday. Thanks, you could use the thanks so much, or use a different stamp set that has a different saying that you want to put on the inside. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you for project number 2. Bye now.